Yes, that's right, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV, back with episode 78 of Show Us Your Cat. Woo! Yes, just like that other guy said, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV with Show Us Your Cat, where we're going to be taking a small journey around the world to take a look at some of your boats and where it is that you're sailing them. Today, we're very much going for a round the world journey. So very exciting times coming up very soon on Show Us Your Cat. I'm beaming in from the Wild Wind winter boat parking facility here in Vasiliki on the Greek island of Lefkos. Big news this week is, yes, it has been raining a lot. That is the biggest news. The other biggest news that I've got at the moment is if you have been thinking about making a purchase from the totaljoyrider.com online store for Christmas, you are now too late. So if you want something for Christmas and you haven't already ordered it from totaljoyrider.com, sorry to say, but you are too late. So don't do it. But anyway, most importantly just now, Show Us Your Cat. So I think we should dive in and have a look at what we're looking at in this week's Show Us Your Cat on Joyrider TV. So we're starting off this week by heading to Australia, to the Royal Queensland Yacht Squadron in Brisbane, where we have Bill. Bill is showing a 2002 Hobie Worlds Hobie 16. And I think you'll agree, she is an absolute stunner, possibly one of the best looking 16s, in my opinion, that we've had on Show Us Your Cat. Bill sails with his 14-year-old daughter, Mackenzie, and this is their very first Hobie 16, and they've only been sailing for just over a year, but they're already getting to grips with it quite nicely. Mackenzie and Bill found this Hobie 16, you're not going to believe it, but in a mushroom farm barn last year, where it had sat for 5 years under a cover without being sailed. This is one of those finds that you dream about. They cleaned her up, restored her back to the original state, replacing everything that needed replacing. They've been sailing this 16 for 12 months, racing it pretty hard. And they've just passed this boat on to Richard and Sarah, who live in Sydney, New South Wales. And they're replacing that 16 with a newer boat, which they're just in the process of restoring, ready for the current racing season. Most weekends at the Royal Queensland Yacht Squadron, they're getting 6 to 8 Hobie 16s out, and the competition there is extremely tough, with quite a few ex-national and world champions in the fleet. So what a great place to improve your level in the Hobie 16 fleet. And here we can see on the beach back in 2002 in New Caledonia, where the World Championships were, where this boat was first launched. And what a great sight that is to see, with so many fresh 16s sat on the beach, almost ready to go. So thanks very much, Bill, for sending us those pictures of your great looking 16. Hope the new one looks even better, and I'm sure it will. And we look forward to seeing that one soon on Show Us Your Cat. Next, we're just popping to North Carolina, USA, where I've been sent by Steve some original colour charts from 1981 for Hobie 14, 16 and 18. Here we can see back in the day, all three boats were featuring the same colour sails throughout the range, which must have been very nice to see out on the water. And there we've got the spec for the California Special, where the standard features included black colour-coded sheets, coated shrouds, shroud adjuster covers, a hot stick, that is the telescopic tiller extension, The Hobie writing system and white hulls with black pinstriping. Very nice indeed. Which of these colour sails would you go for given the choice? I think I'd be going straight for the Gonzo. But thanks very much, Steve, for sending us those pictures. Nice to see some of the material from back in the day. Next, we're heading to South America, to Chile. Just 180 kilometres north of Santiago is Los Moles, where we have Andres. We did feature Andres back in episode 39 with his Nacra 5.5, but he's since then moved venue in Chile, and he thought we should see this stunning new location that he's sailing in. And it does look very nice indeed. He sails with his wife Pilar, and the first thing you can see here is that he has to put up the mast every time he wants to go sailing, because there are overhead power lines between where he keeps the boat and the beach. Bit of a pain, but he has got a good system in place that means he can raise and drop the mast very quickly. Now, this new location is a much more open bit of water with bigger waves, and it's much more intimidating than the lake where he was previously sailing. He's getting the hang of it though, but it takes extra safety precautions because that is a very good idea. He carries a cell phone with him in a dry case inside his buoyancy aid. He always notifies the local authorities when he's going to go sailing. And he has their phone number ready to go just in case. There's some movement of motorboats, so if he does need help, he should be able to flag somebody down and get a tow back in. He's got a writing pole, but he now carries a water bag as well as a backup option. And finally, he's always sailing with an anchor with 15 metres of line, just in case all else fails. But I think you'll agree that this spot in Chile certainly looks like a great place to be going cat sailing. So nice one, Andres, and I hope you enjoy some more sailing in the months to come down there in Chile. Thank you. And next, we're just going north to the USA, to New Jersey, to Lake Hopatcong, where we have James, who has got this absolute stunner 1983 Hobie 16 Tequila Sunrise. Who'd have thought it? This boat is called either Little Sebastian or Feeling Tipsy, depending on what time of the day James is going sailing. But the boat has been very little used and is kept in amazing condition now 37 years later. It's the only yellow boat on the lake and always attracts a lot of attention when James is taking it out for a spin. I think you'll agree this really looks like a great place to keep the boat. What a luxury having a parking space so close to the slipway, and what a great venue to sail. Nice scenery there as well. Here's James out with his 10-year-old nephew on his Tequila Sunrise, having a lovely bit of sailing. One recommendation I could give James here is you could see the back of the boat is looking a bit low in the water. So sitting a bit further forwards in the light wind is certainly going to have the boat clipping along a bit more nicely. A good starting point would be to sit up by the shroud, and you could actually use the shroud as a bit of a backrest. If you're wearing a buoyancy aid, it's actually quite comfortable to lean against the shroud, but that should really improve your performance in the light winds. But thanks very much, James, for sending us those great pictures and video of your Hobie 16. So I think it's really nice to see two Hobie 16s, very different, but both doing exactly the same thing with that Tequila Sunrise and the 2002 New Caledonia Special. Very nice indeed. and the Nacra 5.5 always providing some great action footage. So if you would like to be featured in an upcoming episode of Show Us Your Cat on Joyrider TV, I've got one of these announcements that doesn't come along very often, but I've currently got nothing waiting to be featured in next week's Show Us Your Cat. So if you'd like to be in next week's Show Us Your Cat, then get me some pictures, some video of your boat with a description of where it is that you sail, who you go sailing with, any other information at all that you think would be interesting. Even if you've been featured before, but there's something new with your boat that you'd like to show off, or perhaps you've changed location and you've got some nice pictures, then do send them in, because I think everybody likes to see this kind of stuff. So if you would like to send anything in, just check out in the description below where to send things to, and you could be featured in next week's episode. Now, wouldn't that be exciting? Oh yes, I think so. Other than that, nothing much to report. Not long left on the current speed stick. So perhaps if you're in Australia, maybe in South Africa, perhaps you are in Chile, maybe about 180 kilometers to the north of Santiago, you should go out with a GPS on your boat and send me the results, and I'll get you on the speed stick. Otherwise, we'll be starting a new one in January. So you could be, if you get out first thing on January the 1st with a GPS, send me the results immediately, you could be at the top of the board. Now that is exciting. Thanks very much for watching. As always, thanks to everybody who's been supporting the channel. It's really nice to know that I still have this support even in the winter months. That is nice. There are a lot of videos on Joyrider TV which answer most questions, so do check out the index of videos and dig into the archive if you haven't got anything better to do. But there will be more coming soon on Joyrider TV. Otherwise, I'll see you next Wednesday for the Q&A, or otherwise, I'll see you next Sunday for some more Show Us Your Cat on Joyrider TV. Oh yeah, thank you very much.